Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. As a California licensed real estate agent in a red-hot, euphoric Southern California market, I've been living in the Wild West. It has been complete buyer herd mentality, drink the real estate punch at its highest levels. I decided to come to YouTube and start warning people in these times to be very careful. We are in an artificially stimulated market through government stimulus and stimulus programs. I didn't want to see new home buyers go all in on their primary home where one blip in the economy or their income could throw them into a tailspin and they would become house poor, dragging a depreciated asset along for the ride. Having gone through that myself in the 2008 real estate bubble, I sleep much better at night warning these people in these times, and that's why I came to YouTube. And it's really quite amazing to me that the channel has done what it did. You know, when I first posted a video, and I think I have it pinned on to the homepage of the channel, I had no idea that that video, I think, is a little over 100,000 views. And when I posted it, I probably had 100 subscribers. I really wasn't posting much on YouTube. At the time, I was producing, like we talk about, a lot of watered down bubblegum content, a lot of, property profiles and me, trying to act like a big shot. And while where I live is a incredibly expensive market, and I basically live in an episode of $1 Million Listing, it is absolute insanity out here. I really just didn't expect the video to do what it did. And I saw some other content. I've been, like a lot of us, watching a lot of content. And some of it I kind of, saw through a little bit in terms of, just people trying to, basically keep people engaged and point them at other places to try to capture any money they could from people to sign up for an email list or, a website or a training program or whatever they could. And that's fine. There's probably some with some value out there. It's not my place to judge, and I won't judge. I'll just call it for what I see it. So when I came on, I basically gave some straight talk as an active real estate agent, really explaining that what I was seeing was not normal. And what I saw was this kind of normal call volume as an active agent. As an active agent, you're going to have different areas that you get your business. Usually your first is your sphere of influence, your friends, your family. Oh, Scott's a realtor, call Scott. Or your friends on social media, people that you have some kind of roundabout relationship with. And that's typically that's where you're going to get most of your business as a realtor, is people either referring people to you or people that actually know you in a roundabout way. And the other place that realtors get business is from their lead generation programs that they sign up and pay for. And not all realtors will, have the money to pay for lead generation. But most of the top realtors do pay for it. It's mainly a tax write-off for them, and they usually hand those duties off maybe to an assistant or somebody else. But most of them do, because the reality is that most of us do our browsing online on some of the big heavy hitter websites. And so it's kind of ironic because these websites get this information, the photos, everything about the property from us, the realtors who pay to be a member of the multiple listing service, upload it to the MLS first, and then we've given the rights to these websites to go ahead and scrape that and regurgitate them onto their websites. And then what they do is they basically have created websites to keep you on there and have little email or buttons that you can click to request information on a property. And it's a little bit deceiving because what ends up happening is eventually you just think you're requesting information or maybe talking to an owner or an agent that's directly responsible for that property, and you end up getting shuffled around some call center, and then eventually you get to talk to a realtor, and it might not even be necessarily the realtor attached with that property. So that's another way as realtors that we basically get business, is through lead generation programs, and we have to pay for that. And so what happened for me is I'm living my life as a real estate agent and a real estate investor, and I have other income streams as well. I do I also refer business out and just collect referral fees. I basically work within a team with another high-level agent. And so I'm not just this lone wolf out there doing my thing, right? And so when my internet leads would typically produce, a call once in a while in a small portion of my day. And the internet leads are very hard to convert into a sale versus, your sphere of influence, like a family member or somebody already knows and trusts you, because you're basically talking to a stranger, and they sometimes sniff out sales call. And while I am a trained salesperson, as you've probably gathered, I'm not maybe your typical salesperson. I don't necessarily come off as a salesperson because I'm trying to keep other people's needs before my own, so most people feel safe with me. I'm very blessed in that way. But what would happen is a very small portion of my work week would be dedicated to helping somebody that was produced off of one of these internet leads. And then what happened in the height of the euphoria, where all of a sudden we saw what we saw, is people were stuck at home shopping properties, desperate to buy. And so the calls were just coming in left, right, and sideways. And I got just completely buried under internet leads. I had no time for my regular customers because it was just all this internet leads. And then that's one of the reasons I started to tap out. I said, most of these people shouldn't be buying right now. Most of these people aren't even in a position to buy. Most of these people don't even have a down payment or have talked to a lender yet. And as an agent, I have lenders that I'm going to put you together with. I'm going to help you get financing, but I'm the realtor. I'm not the lender. But of course, that is something within, my group that we do. And so that was fine, and I would have to tell people, listen, before you can even get in to do a showing of this house, to look at this house, much less even have the hopes of writing an offer, you need to get your financing in place. And that's going to take a few weeks, and this property will be long gone. And so that was basically the type of world I lived in. I lived in that world every single day. I mean, constantly. It was the phone ringing, and I got very systematic on it. I have a saying, buyers buy every step of the way. So you call me, I'll say, great, I'm going to have you talk to the lender, and you're going to get started with them, and then you're going to check back with me, and then we're going to go from there. So I would give them something to do, and then if they checked back with me, hey, I got the lender, they gave me my pre-approval letter, then I knew these people, okay, we're going to move them to the next step. And so continue to just give them steps to do until ultimately we were writing an offer on a property. And so this is really the dynamic that I lived in with for a long time. And now as a result, what we've seen is a complete leveling off and tapering of that to the point where I've reported it. What I'm seeing now, as I keep my thumb on the pulse of the industry and I heat map my active clients, is the call volume has shrank down significantly to maybe one call every day or two versus 10 calls a day. So that's completely died off. The offers that are getting placed on properties are not above asking price at the levels we saw in the height of the euphoria, and people aren't as willing to waive contingencies and inspections and just buy it blind sight unseen. We're not seeing that. So these are clear shifts. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people want to wait for the bottom to fall out before they're convinced a shift or a correction has happened. But you see, the real estate market doesn't typically do that. Now, one of the fears I had is the fiscal cliffs that we haven't ended yet in the form of eviction bans, mortgage forbearance, foreclosure bans, and unemployment benefits. These shifts, these are really big fiscal cliffs that when they end, it could collectively actually provide that very swift and sharp decline in prices. As of right now, without those even ending, we're seeing a shift. And that alone really, I could stop the video. I can't believe people just, am I alone on this? Like, does anybody, many people, there's a great division on this. Many people just don't understand that, these fiscal cliffs are very capable of crashing the market. And the fact that they haven't ended yet and a semi-softening has already occurred. And now again, properties are still seller's market. And like I said, there's still a lot of properties going at or over asking price, but not at the levels. There's a clear shift. Again, we've already seen new buyers dropping out, loan applications decline, offers are now not removing contingencies, and they're not being placed at these high levels over asking. The last offer I wrote, which was a few days ago, we wrote it at one, and again, where I live, it's $1 million for like a shack out here. It's insanity. Like I try to talk people out of it all the time. Like, it's not going to hurt you to wait. Maybe we should wait. But some people, and again, they have the financial wherewithal to do it. And so I said, man, give them it's $1,000 over asking price on our offer. And we got contacted back by the selling side. They only had one other offer that we were competing with versus 10 other offers. And they asked us if we'd like to make our final and best offer. And we said that we just gave it to you. And so luckily for us, we didn't end up getting that. Apparently got beat, but there's some shenanigans going behind the scenes because I already see that property is back on the market, and so do my clients. They're like, hey, this property that we put a bid on is back on the market. What's going on? Mike, your guess is as good as mine. Welcome to the Wild West. These people are fishing. They're manipulating, and that's what we've been doing, a lot of exposing of the real estate market on this channel, because I'm just doing my best to educate, because I want to build some real estate investors here on this channel. I want to create in you what I've been able to create in myself. I always say, for me to increase my wealth, I have to make you wealthy. And that's my primary purpose here. And I know for you to understand from a realtor's perspective and some of the things that you may or may not have known, or at least give you temperature checks on, even if you did know, this is going to help you. Knowledge can be power in terms of positioning yourselves strategically to understand the market, so when it's time to go buy, if that's now or coming or never, you want to know these things because it's just only going to help you. And that's the goal here, folks. So thanks for the 10,000 subscribers. Who would have known somebody who just turning on their camera, letting it rip? I know I don't always speak perfectly, but you're busy, I'm busy. I'm not going to chop these things up until I'm a manufactured content creator bringing you, bubblegum content. And, I clearly you've responded. So thank you for that. We've been trying to help as many of you. A lot of people have reached out to me, and I'm giving a lot of consulting, free. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to provide a service. I know my rewards will come. It might not be from the people I serving directly, but it'll come from somewhere. You just have to continue to help people in these times, and that's always going to be my message. I know this is the real estate channel, but I try to go just a little deeper, because being level-headed, goal-oriented, earn your wealth mentality is really what we want to do. Do not base your self-worth on your possessions. Let that happen from the inside out. Then everything else will just be icing on the cake. So go make it count today, and we'll see you on the next video.